Hey everybody, it's Mr. Carr again. Today we're going to be starting 12-2, and then today we'll be doing day one, focusing on angles in a coordinate plane. What you're going to see about today is when we talk about our angles on a coordinate plane, we're drawing a circle that always starts at the positive x-axis. So if an angle is positive, we're going to rotate it counterclockwise like this. Okay, so this is 120 degrees here. If the angle is negative, we're going to still start that positive x-axis, but then rotate clockwise. So a negative 145 degrees is going to go that direction like that. Okay, so our initial side is always this positive x-axis. The terminal side is wherever we end up after our rotation. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on, is understanding those degrees on a coordinate plane like that. So draw an angle with the following measures in standard position. So again, so we got 210 degrees here. Okay, we'll go ahead and just copy that because we're going to need a bunch of those. So we'll need that here and here and here. Okay, so 210 degrees. So think about what makes like kind of sections of a circle. If I look at this part right here, we know that's 90, 180, 270, 360. Okay, those are my parts right there. So if I want 210, I know I have to go past the 180 degrees. And I'm gonna, whoops, I don't know where that where that went, but so that's about 180 degrees there. And I'm gonna go a little bit further here. So that is about 210 degrees. Okay. Negative 135. We're gonna start at same thing. I'm gonna start here. Okay. Negative 135. I'm gonna go in the other direction. I'm gonna go this way with it. So negative 135, it's more than 90, but less than 180. So I'll put it right here. Okay. So that's my negative 135 degrees. All right. 180 degrees, that's pretty straightforward. We're just going to go right here, do a semicircle. Okay. So that's my 180 here. 650 is a little bit different and very interesting with that one. Notice that 650 is past 360 degrees. Like if I go for one complete circle around, that's 360. Okay. But we want to go further than that. Okay. So it might help with this. I'm going to take 650 minus 360 here. So I do that real quick and I get 290. So basically for 650 degrees, I'm going to go through one full rotation for 360 degrees and then not quite a full rotation after that. 270 is at the bottom of this. So I'm going to go, so we got, this is full 360 plus another 90, another 90, another 90. This will be the 270 of the 290. Okay. So officially what I've done is 360 plus 90 is 450 plus 90 again over here. What was that be? 540. And then another 90 right here is going to put me at another 90 is 630. So if I want to get to 650, I need to go a little bit further here. Okay. So that's a 650 degrees total. Again, we had to go one complete rotation and then almost another full rotation to get to 650. So again, it's thinking in terms in 360, we can subtract it to see how much is left over, kind of get a feel for the 290. The 290 is more than 270, so that's what this is right here. That's 270, so I gotta go about 20 degrees past that there. Okay, just kind of estimating it for now. All right, in a springboard diving competition, a diver made a 900-degree rotation before slicing into the water. Draw an angle in standard position that measures 900 degrees. Once again, you can take, this is my first rotation, which is 360. So I can, to help me with that, I'll do 900 minus 360. Gives me 540. Okay. Then I'm going to do another full rotation because I can do another 360 out of that. So 540 minus 360 gives me 180. So that's where this comes in. This was my first one, 360. Here's my second 360. And now here's a 180. Okay. Right there. That's the full 900 degrees. So this is my answer, but I want to explain why we were able to get there with that one. All right. Coterminal angles. A coterminal angle is one that has the same position, but it's a different value. Okay. So we find an angle with a positive measure and an angle with a negative measure that are coterminal with 210 degrees. Okay, so that's two or more angles that have the same terminal side. So again, you notice how right here, for a quick example, this is 900 degrees is in this position in the end. But that's the same position if I just did 180. Okay, it's also the same thing if I did 540, if I did one complete right there. So technically speaking, 180, 540, and 900 are all coterminal with each other. They all end up in the same spot on that coordinate grid. So that's what we're looking for here. The easiest way to do it is just differences of 360. So for example, to get a positive coterminal angle, we can just add 360, so I get to 570 degrees. If I go the opposite way, if I'm starting at 210, I want to subtract 360 to get to negative 150. And that's all it is. We can get 570 degrees and negative 150 degrees. As like a quick just demonstration of what's happening there. Okay, 210 is about right here. Okay, that's about 210 degrees. So that's my starting position. So the idea of adding 360 means I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through one more time all the way around and end up in the same spot. Okay, so that's why I'm adding 360 there. Whereas the subtracting means I'm starting from here and I'm subtracting 360 and I go this direction. I still end up in the same spot, but when I subtract it, that's the same as negative 150, which makes sense because it's negative 90 and then negative 150 right there, going that direction. So that's our coterminal angles. Okay, find an angle with a positive measure and an angle with a negative measure that are coterminal with negative 120. Same exact idea. If we take negative 120 plus 360, we can get to 240. That's my positive coterminal. And if I take negative 120 minus 360, that gets me to negative 480. Okay, so my answer here is 240 degrees and negative 480. Oops, 480 degrees. That's it. If I want positive coterminal, I'm adding 360. I want negative coterminal, I'm subtracting 360. Okay, and that's actually it for today, but I do want to mention one more thing. Let's just do a real fast thing where I add one more here. Let's say I want positive coterminal and negative coterminal with 540 degrees. Okay, so like we normally do, we could take the 540, oops, plus 360, and that's going to give me 900 degrees. Okay, but if I take the 540 and subtract 360, that gets me down to 180 degrees. This is not positive. So I'm going to want to go one more. So if you ever have to come up with this idea where it asks for a positive and a negative, and I didn't get to a negative like doing or I didn't get to one of them, either positive or negative by going through my normal process, just do it again. So I take 180 minus 360, that's a negative 180. And that would be my two answers to the question. A positive coterminal would be 900 degrees, and a negative coterminal would be negative 180. Technically speaking, positive 180 and negative 180 would both be a positive and a negative coterminal as well. So I could have done those two instead. But when it says a positive coterminal and negative coterminal, it's not just about direction. It's about having the actual value being positive and negative. Okay. All right. That's it for day one. Take care, everybody.